Welcome. This is the movement part of the sequence of videos that I put together for the calm and contented de-stress yoga practices. So the practice today, there is a little bit of movement. We won't be coming up to standing at all. It's all floor based and very much about just loosening the body, really grounding and listening to that kind of dialogue and wisdom that the body we can really tune into with breath awareness and compassion. So we're going to start seated. There's nothing particularly you need for the practice today. I've got a blanket that you might want to bring behind your head to support the head, but other than that, just those conditions to help facilitate ease and relaxation. So maybe dimming the lights a little bit, making sure you're warm enough, making sure that you're not going to be disturbed, possibly. Okay, so what we'll begin is just a little time to come to seated and to center. So I'm sitting cross-legged. Again, if that's not comfortable, find a seat that just for the next minute or so that you can just come a little quieter and stiller. Turn your palms down, so that invitation to the body as you drop the chin towards the chest and close the eyes or soften your gaze. To begin to tune in to the inner world. We spend a lot of time navigating the external world. And this is an opportunity to draw in and to listen. So hold this space for ourselves. Safe space, and really just this beginning of noticing what is, acknowledging the wisdom of the body, and the opening invitation to what am I feeling. So just scan through the body in the mind's eye, and maybe you might label any kind of feelings that come up. If you're feeling sleepy or happy or anxious, whatever it is for you, and these are not judgments. So don't try and turn away from anything or fix anything. This practice is not about fixing you. Really that emphasis of embodied awareness, of slowing down, slowing into deeper brain waves to really truly listen and feel and respond to what you need. And let's place the hands onto the abdomen and just consciously drop your attention down into that area. And see if you can take your breath down into the belly, as if you're just breathing into your hands as you inhale. Do you feel the belly soften and swell? And just that natural drawing back in of the navel towards the back of the body as you exhale. More important than anything with the breath, it's just a nice, steady, calm rhythm. So less is more in breath work. So effortless, easeful breath. Breathing in through the nose, down into the belly, soft and long, relaxed breath out. Now to reach your arms out away from the body, out wide, and take a breath in and circle the arms up towards the ceiling as if you're breathing in kindness. And as you press your palms together and draw your hands down to your heart space, you're breathing out any judgments. Inhale one more time, breathing in kindness, kind of sealing this practice in. And as you exhale, you're breathing out judgments. Drop the head down towards the heart. And then release the hands. I'm going to interlace the hands behind and just draw the shoulder blades towards each other. So you don't really need to come tight here. Just that feeling of opening across the chest. And just tuck the chin down towards the chest. And again, you might do all of this with the eyes closed. Nice soft gaze. So you're listening and looking inwards. There's a nice massage across the chest and the shoulders. Breathing down deep into the belly. And then we're going to turn the torso slightly towards your left knee and bring your right shoulder towards your left knee. Try and keep dropping the head down, the chin tucked. Nice and open across the chest, breathing in. And steady breath out. Inhale, bring the torso back up to center, chin stays tucked. And again, turn the torso slightly over to the right. And folding forward, chin tucks, head drops, and left shoulder moves towards the right knee. Again, really establishing the rhythm of your breath. In through the nose, don't strain. Out through the nose. And again, slowly come up to center. And here we'll just roll the shoulders up and back and softly down. Bring your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your chest, just gathering in here. Gathering into your heart, self-compassion and kindness. And feeling down into the belly, a sensory experience. Truly listening. And then we'll move ourselves over onto our hands and knees. So, as I say, you won't need any more of your props. You can move those out of the way. And you're just going to pad the hands and pad a little bit through the knees and the tops of the feet. And all these movements are about grounding. You know, we can use the ground to feel safe, to feel held. So let's come over and just be still for a moment here. Gaze is steady. And then we're going to really consciously, again, try and relax the abdomen. And then start to circle the pelvis round. And you're going to explore that movement. So very organic movement. And try and isolate it around the abdomen, the pelvis. Just circling round. Slowing it down. Feeling it. Really consciously trying to let abdomen relax, area that we often hold in for protection, for safety. If life literally hits us sometimes in the gut, and areas where we hold tension and get quite disconnected from. So just feeling in here, circling round, soft, and then come back to center. And again, try and isolate the movement. We'll do that same, just circling around of the neck. And this is a nice, safe way to get some movement and rotation around in the neck without getting the shoulders too involved. So change direction. I'm doing all this with a soft gaze, or you can do it with your eyes closed. One more big circle round. And then again, come back to center. Walk the hands a little bit further forward and try and keep here light in the hands. And when we come back into those same kind of circling movements, we're going to draw back the hips towards the heels. So the arms are straight here. And you feel that movement originate down into the belly. So it's almost like a little toning and strengthening of the abdomen to create the movement rather than really pressing into the hands and circling round, nice gliding movements. So all this is about lubricating and finding fluidity in the body. When we're tense, when we're tight, get rigid. You literally kind of feel that rigidity through the body. So loosen things up through these movements. Drawing back. And then next time you come back, we'll move back into, it's called child's pose, so hips to heels. And bend the elbows and support the head. So if you have your blanket, you might use your blanket here, or just bring your head to rest down onto something so there's a little bit of weight onto the forehead. And then again, drop your mind's eye down into the belly. Let the belly be soft. You might even feel that swell of the belly to the thighs as you take a breath in. And as you breathe into the body, let the body feel safe here. Breathe into safety. Feel the breath around the back of the body. Feel the breath around your shoulders and your neck. Consciously try and relax your face, Take any expression off your face. Let the lips slightly part. And then we'll nice and slowly, again, bring the hands forward and press all the way up. Let's bring the feet over to one side and we'll make our way onto our backs in a moment, but just in the same mindful way that we're moving, it's just start seated a little bit, and here you can feel the base of the pelvis, of the sitting bones, and just rock a little bit forward and back on the sacrum. And these next movements, we're going to do some spine undulations, are really about marrying up this communication from the sacrum up that central axis or column of the body, the spine, marrying that up to the skull. So we're just rocking a little bit the sacrum, those pelvic tilts. And then you're going to start to roll mindfully and slowly the spine all the way down. And here you might use your blanket and just place your blanket ready as you roll the spine down to support the back of the skull. So my shoulders are not on the blanket. I've not rolled the blanket up and placed it into the neck. A nice lot of space through the back of the neck. And then bring the feet as wide as your mat and drop the knees together. And this is called constructive rest. And just let your hands rest onto your belly. And again, dropping down into the body. Belly soft. And constructive rest is a lovely position to really release the hip flexors, the psoas muscle. Often when we're standing, that muscle can be quite tight. We use it a lot in standing, in flexion. And that movement of protection, of curling in. So here it can relax. You can feel the lower back and the abdomen can also relax, and you can feel a deeper breath down into the body. Breathing in and breathing out. Just that gentle rhythm, the rise of the belly and the fall of the belly. Good. And we're going to do a little bit of movement around the neck and the shoulders, and often an area that is gets held with tension. We kind of move everything up into the head, so it gets stuck around the neck and the shoulders. So we're just going to turn the head towards the right shoulder. And try and do this without lifting your head up. So there's a little massage across the back of the skull. Finding the range of the movement that you have, and then rolling back through center. And then again rolling over the back of the skull. So it's a nice massage there. And just dropping the chin towards the left shoulder. And you might, like me, hearing the belly gurgle a little bit. It's those signs that we're moving back into rest and digest. So again, roll back through to center. Letting the nervous system find a little bit more balance. And then bring the arms out wide. The palms are facing up here. It's a nice openness across the chest. And we're just going to turn. So at the moment my palms are facing up. We're going to turn our head towards your left shoulder. And then you're going to turn your thumb, your left thumb down. And turn your palm all the way facing towards the back. And actually this movement kind of feels a little bit sticky. You kind of find that bone meets bone up into the shoulder. It feels a little bit uncomfortable, and that's quite normal. So you'll get to kind of, I can bring my palm really flat here. And then I want you to take a nice full deep breath into that. And can you breathe into a place that feels a little bit kind of tight? And find some softness there, so don't kind of tense against it. And then on your next exhale, I'm going to slowly release the left shoulder and feel that ripple all the way down as you turn the left palm up. And then bring the head back to center without lifting the head up, remember, and turn it all the way over to the right. And we'll do the same on the right side. So the right palm is facing up at the moment. And then we're going to turn the right thumb down. And the palm faces towards the head as you bring the palm towards the floor. And again, you find that kind of point for you that feels enough. And I want you to take your breath there, bring the breath into the body. So you can visualize that, visualize softness. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale again, feel that ripple as you release the right shoulder all the way down the right arm. And the right palm turns up as you bring the skull back to center. Good. And then bring the feet now a little bit closer together, so now the knees move apart, and reach the arms over the head. And here the arms are going to be in more of a V position, so they're not too constricted and tight towards the ears. And we're going to come through some spine undulations, again really marrying up that communication along the brain-gut axis. And we'll start by lifting the heels up, arching your back and tucking your chin. And then on your next exhale, I want you to press your heels down, lift the toes up, press your lower back down and open your throat. And now see if you can coordinate that movement with your breath. So you're inhaling, arching the back, lifting the heels, tucking your chin. Exhaling, heels down, toes lift, lower back presses down, open your throat. Take one more round through and just feel that kind of wave along the spine. Very natural movement. Coordinating the breath so the breath leads, don't rush. And then come back to neutral. And as you find neutral, just rest in neutral for a moment. Soften the belly, relax the face. Deep breath in, long breath out. And then we'll bring the arms a little bit, not out back to that T position, and drop the knees over to the right. Press your left foot down so your left knee will come a little bit more up towards the ceiling. And my chest stays open. I haven't moved the skull at all, so the head and the neck are still supported. And then just press into your left foot and lift your left hip up and arch the back. And you might explore with the left arm, maybe drawing up towards the top left corner of your mat. So you're really creating a feeling of space and arch and reach. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale again, let the left shoulder, the left hip release down. Feel that right knee roll back. And the sacrum and the skull coming back into center. And then drop the knees over to the left. Press your right foot flat. Inhaling, press through your right foot. And again, lift your right hip up. And then explore with your right arm. So it's a big kind of extension and reach. Feel the top of the breath move into that space. And then as you exhale, you feel the right shoulder, the right hip. The left knee rolls back, the sacrum comes back, and we marry that up to the skull. Breathing in and breathing out. So all these practices are about bringing us back into balance. And let's draw both knees into the chest. Bring your hands onto your knees and just circle the knees around a little bit. Again, you'll feel that movement, not just in the sacrum. You feel that massaging up the spine to the skull. You might change the direction. You might even get a little creative and do a figure of 8 through the knees. Hugging them in and releasing them forward. And then again, bring the feet flat. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Lift the fingertips up towards the ceiling. So now my shoulders are lifted up a little bit and I feel that around the back of the ribs space. And I'm cross the right elbow on top of the left and wrap the fingertips around and see if we can bring the fingertips into that space around your back ribs. So giving yourself a nice big hug. Squeeze it in. Lift. And then exhale, let the shoulders drop. And extend the arms up. Inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Lift the head of the shoulders, lift. And then left elbow crosses on top of the right. Wrap the arms around. Take a lovely deep breath in. Give yourself a squeeze. And then exhale and feel the shoulders soften. So that same hormone, oxytocin, that we get when we hug others, also is released here when we hug ourselves. So a little bit of self-love. And then release the arms out again, wide. And just feel that new level, that new kind of reset in the body. Or extend the legs. And if it doesn't feel comfortable for you to come into the body scan here with the legs extended, then you're welcome to come back into that constructive rest position that we had, knees knocking together, feet wide, or placing a bolster or a blanket if you have one underneath the backs of the knees. The arms are out wide away from the body, so there's no constriction in the breathing. Relax the face. And feel how the movement, just those gentle movements of letting that communication drop down into the body, how that's quietened the mind. Bring your attention all the way down to your toes. And rather than seeing the body as that physical outer layer of muscles and bones, can you feel and have that sensory experience of being in your body as energy, as sensation around your toes and your feet? Do you feel any sensation or vibration? Tops of the feet, ankles, coming up the legs to the backs of the knees, tops of the knees. Tops of the thighs, the backs of the thighs. Feel any energy or vibration around the pelvis. And let that draw up the lower back, middle back, upper back around the shoulders. As you feel that energy draw down the arms, upper arms, elbows, forearms, to the wrists, to the hands, to the fingertips, and to the palms. Feel the palms as energy. As if you're holding energy in your palms. And then bring that energy all the way up from the back of the neck. And let it pour over the skull and down the face. Smooth across the brow. Over the cheeks and the jaw. The lips slightly part. You take that gaze and feel the energy in the mouth and the tongue. It draws down the throat and spreads across the chest. Down into the belly. Feeling the belly as energy, as vibration, sensation. You might even visualize a color here flooding through the body, washing through. As vibration, as energy. And just take a few moments to really rest into that. Let the mind's eye just float through the body. Sensation. If the mind gets distracted, just simply draw it back. Anchor it back and down and into the body. Into the breath. So take this little bit longer time of stillness and do stay here for as long as you want to. Really integrating this time of stillness. And then again, bring your attention back to your breath. Bring the breath down to your toes. Bring the breath out wide to your fingertips. Bring the breath all the way up to the crown of your head. You're breathing from the center outwards. And then slowly bring movement to your fingers and your toes. Again, they're just nice, natural, organic movements. So you might bend the knees, you might stretch the arms, whatever feels good for you. And then we'll make our way over to one side and just rest on one side. Don't have that kind of tendency to want to jump straight back up. The head is supported, keeping the body heavy. And then let the body lead. So let the head be the last to come up as you press into your hands. As if you're just kind of rolling back up. And we'll sit together to close, finding again your comfortable seat. And we'll just take this moment to close as we began, seated. This time turn your palms up. And really feel this offering out how when we can flex that muscle of self-compassion to ourselves and kindness and become a little calmer and contented within ourselves, how that can mirror out into the world, and we offer our practice to that. Notice how this practice has nourished and supported you. And then we'll close, bring your hands to your heart space, bow your head towards your heart. Take a moment to give thanks to your body. Namaste.